Hey everyone, welcome back. Today we're gonna have a look at the Faber Castell School pen. This pen comes in a blister pack and it includes 6 royal blue cartridges, which is quite nice. And I have the blue one, which matches with the included royal blue cartridges quite well. The plastic feels quite cheap, but for 6 euros, including 6 cartridges, I will not complain too much. The shape is quite simple. On the bottom of the pen there is an injection molding mark, as well as a hole so that kids wouldn't choke on any part of this pen. Pens like Pilot Kakuno also have that feature. The top of the pen is quite simple and there is a very functional clip. You can see similar designs on some ballpoint and rollball pens. There is a Faber Castell print with no other markings on either the cap or the body. The cap is push-pull, no problems there. And here we see a stainless steel medium nib with very nice stamping and the plastic feed. This section is 10 mm wide at the narrowest point and then tapers up to about 11 mm. The section has 2 cutouts and the bottom part has this dent that positions your middle finger. And I have to say that I really dislike the section. These cutouts are far too restrictive, as is this little shape on the bottom. This section really limits the way you can hold the pen. You cannot hold it more up, more down, you can't really rotate it. Sometimes I like to move my middle finger up and down a little bit, but the shape of this section prevents me from doing that. I'm also not a fan of the rubberized finish. Polished or matte plastic would work better. Unscrewing the barrel gives us access to the cartridge converter system. There is enough space for a spare cartridge in the barrel, and I've tested this pen with a standard Schmidt converter and it worked very well. Not much else to discuss here. The threads work well and the pen doesn't have a tendency to unscrew by accident. 13.4 centimeters long when capped. That's a pretty standard length, a little bit shorter than the Lamy Safari. However, it's quite light at 13.5 grams including a cartridge. 12.3 centimeters long uncapped and only 9 grams. A little bit too short and too light. It posts quite well, 15.2 centimeters. The Pelican twist in the middle doesn't post. The Lamy Safari is quite a bit longer. And let's see how it writes. So this is the Faber Castell School pen. And the ink is Faber Castell Royal Blue. The nib has a little bit of feedback, which is quite pleasant, and out of the box the tines were slightly misaligned, so I fixed that. When it comes to horizontal vertical stroke variation, there is a little bit of it, and regarding wetness, that's completely fine. It makes about 0.65 mm line, which is a little bit more than a standard medium, so let's call it medium plus. Hard starts. We could see some issues here and there. However, I think all of these are related to a rather narrow sweet spot of this nib, which is my only complaint about it. Skipping. No problems as soon as you hold the pen in its narrow sweet spot. Flex. It's a pretty stiff nib. You will not get much line variation out of it, and even here I was pushing the nib quite a bit. Reverse. This actually works quite well. However, because the section is quite triangular, this isn't really a pleasant experience. The nib looks good and it writes okay now that I have fixed the tine alignment. Ergonomics is my biggest issue with this pen. I don't like the rubberized finish on this section and it locks my fingers too tightly. Initially, I was quite excited about this pen as it's my first Faber Castell fountain pen. I like the clip and I don't mind the cheap plastic at this price point. Unfortunately, I really can't get over the section. The Pelican Twist is a much better pen for me. It has a softer nib that worked great out of the box and the section allows you to reposition your fingers a little bit. So this was an interesting experiment and the value isn't bad, however I can't really recommend this pen. And that's all for today. Thanks a lot for watching and I'll see you in the next one. Bye!